This is the Embedded Event Manager Lab. Let's go to the first part, which is the troubleshooting and data collection part. Action item number 1, you're not under the control of the syslog server. Still, you want to have access to all logs. Save the log every day and before router reloads when someone issues the command reload. So let's go to router 1 and do that. Probably event manager applet logs. Then we'll have to do just 2 events. The first event will be a cron timer event because it will have to get repeated daily, and the other event is when someone enters the command reload into the router. So the first, I will have to use tags for this because I will have to correlate later. So for the first event, I will use the tag, for instance, daily, and it will be cron timer event. Well, the name is probably log cron, and the cron entry is the last minutes of each day of every month of every day of the week. And the second event will be when someone enters the command reload. So I'm going to add a tag, for instance, reboot, and the click pattern will be the command reload. It will have to get synchronized because I want to stop this command from continuing, save the log, and then return the control back to the user. So I have to synchronize this, and it'll have to occur at least once in order to get triggered. And then I will have to correlate both events with the trigger mode and correlate event daily or the event reboot. So just the 2 events I just created. And then my first action will be issuing the command enable, and then the second action will be issuing the command show logging and send that to a file. In this case, I'm using this because I don't have a flash. And then I will have to, this will be important. The third action, I will have to set the exit status to 1 because I want the command reload to continue. If I don't do this, the command will be actually canceled, and the user will not be able to reload the router at all. So this is how it ended. Let's see, I have this file from previous tests. I'm going to delete it. Delete disk 0 logs txt, and there is nothing. I'm going to trigger it by issuing the command reload. I don't want to reload it, but the file gets created, and if I see what is containing, it is the log. So let's go to action item number 2. You have been reported routing issues with your BGP carrier every weekend, so you must generate the bugs every weekend. The debug should not continue beyond each Sunday. So we have to use, in this case, we want to enable the bugs on Saturday and finish the debug as Sunday ends. So let's go to create the first applet, for instance, event manager applet the books on, and it will be an event timer cron, name the book on cron, and with the cron entry of the first minute of each Saturday. Saturday is number 6, and then I will have to create another the action. Sorry, the action will be and click command, enable, click command, enable, and then the second action will be book PGP all. So this applet will get run at the first minute of each Saturday, and I will have to stop this debugging. Oh, I needed the enable. Sorry, I need another action first. So, okay, this is the correct applet to enable the debug. So now we have to turn it off. That it will be pretty much the same. Debug off. It will be an event timer cron and of cron the cron entry of the last minute of the last hour of each Sunday. Sunday is 0. So the first action will be the click command enable. The second action will be the click command not debug all, BGP all. So that's it. Let's go to action item number 3. Detect high CPUs or low memory. Save the appropriate information for later review on the disk, and save the values gathered for the event. So we'll have to use this. This will be an applet that will be triggered by 2 events: when the CPU goes high and when the memory goes low. So event manager applet low resources. The first event will be I will have to use tags because I will have to correlate them. High CPU, and it will be SNMP OID, and I'm going to use the OID for the CPU, which is this. Get type. And next, I'm using this next get type next because the .0 value that will give me the actual CPU information. I could use .0 and then use get type exact, or I could use this and use the get type next. These are exactly the same. And then for this value, I will use the operation greater or equal to the entry value of 70% and a poll interval. I will be checking this value every 60 seconds. So the next is checking the memory. I'm going to use this tag, low memory. It can be whatever word you want, with the SNMP OID for the memory. So this is also a known value. You can look it up over the internet. This is the value for the memory which is for Cisco routers. And this will be get type exact. And I'm going to choose the operator lower than the entry value of 10 megabytes. So when the memory goes below 10 megabytes, the free memory goes below 10 megabytes, this event will get triggered. I also will be polling this value every 60 seconds. So I'm going to correlate those 2 events. Correlate event high CPU or event low memory. Then the first action I will do, let's exit this mode. Action will be enabled, and then we'll be gathering information for later review. So For instance, I could do a show process and then append that to this 0, for instance, low res text 10, click command, then action 30, click command, maybe show memory, and append that it's 0 low res text, and then next action, probably I'm going to echo the triggers values that created these events. For instance, I'm going to say what exactly were the values that triggered this event. For instance, the SNMP OID and the SNMP OID value. And I will append that to the low res text message. So these are internal variables for the embedded event manager that will give me information about what triggered these events. So I will be able to tell whether it was the CPU or the memory. So this is how this applet looks like. So action item number 3.1, create a test applet for this, but lower the CPU threshold to 2% and the memory to 305 megabytes. So I'm going to create another testing applet for this. So I'm going to change just some values, 2% here, and when it goes below this value. So notice that we are currently, if we wanted to know how much frame memory we have, we can issue show memory, so we can see how much free memory. Well, while that happens, let's go back to. So this will be the. So we have this. We have this. So we are under the 305 value we set, so we'll get alert. I'm going to add here a message to the console. And let's change this name because we are going to override it. Okay. Sent. I'm sorry, it's not sent, it's put. Sorry. Puts. Okay. Now this is my testing. We'll have to wait 60 seconds in order to see if the CPU goes beyond we can use the show event manager policy registered to see what are my applets, or we can see the show event manager active or show manager history events to see which one are okay. So it seems that this was triggered. So these were the trigger values. 6.1 is the memory,